Hi guys, so today we do a little bit of repressing. As you can see, I had some accidents. Well, I dropped one of my cosmetic bags, and when I was sorting out makeup, and some stuff got shattered. It just happens. I was a bit upset, but then also it's just things, it happens. One thing that broke is a bronzer. This bronzer I was swatching and trying out because I actually really like this one. It's from Claudia Schiffer, but I also have it for quite a while, and it's such a good color on me. So I was thinking of maybe putting it in my project pan, which is why I was swatching around with it, but it broke. So I will repress this one, which is a bit of a shame because I really liked it. It had like these tiny little, I don't know if you can see, it had like tiny little raindrop design on the pan. But then I used it already a few times, so it went anyway away in the middle. And then one quite newer product broke. This is from Kiko Milano from their Conscious collections, which is like supposed to be very minder friendly. A highlighter, and it also didn't have a mirror in there, which is maybe a good thing because nothing can break. That highlighter broke as well. That highlighter, by the way, I was not too impressed with so far, so maybe you will see why I do actually something else with it instead of just repressing it in here. This highlighter you can see here on one of the bits, maybe immediately developed pan every single time I used it. And I used a brush, a clean brush, because usually pan creates when you have like finger swatches or something and you have like your own oils from the hand, and the pan really weird, hardly picked anything up anymore on the brush. So whatever, also this color, it's nice, but it's not like amazingly nice where I think like, oh, I really need this as a separate highlighter in my collection. So what I will do is, if someone remembers my massive pan of highlighter leftovers, I repressed last year. I used it quite a bit this year, so I actually hit pan already on this one again. And as you can see, the packaging is broken while I have this, so I will mix this highlighter with this one together. And the last product that broke is my Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer, Reserve Your Cabana. This one I really like. It's not really bronzer for me though, it's way too light. I think for anyone it's way too light. So I use it usually as a setting powder. I do have two backups of this one though. And as you can see here, there's actually not that much left in here. The pan is huge. So what I will do is with this leftover, I will also mix it into the highlighter. I just don't mind doing it because then I think, you know what, I can mix all of these three together and actually repress it into the pan of this one because it's quite a good big pan and all the products will fit in there, which is quite nice. So by the way, this is this. It's just like it's a bit like these Hourglass ambient lighting powders. This one is like my highlighter mix. This one I just really like to use on the body. Let me focus. Here we go. It's just literally a nice shimmer, not too overbearing. I like to put it on my legs in summertime, on my shoulders. And then this one is the one from Kiko Milano, which is just not the best, to be honest. Let's watch it here. It's just like, it really doesn't pick up really well. I mean, sorry, I'm out of focus here. It's just, let me pick up some of the loose bits. There you go. Let's put it down here again. I think it's a good highlighter if you want a really, really subtle one, which I don't mind. But then I also think I have products like this already in my collection, which is why I don't mind to just repress it with this and make a concoction out of it. I'll actually start with this one to repress and then the bronzer. So I hope the video is not getting too long. Just play it on 1.75 speed or something like that. So as always with repressing, you need some containers. I like to use these little egg cups because they're easy to clean and make sure they're disinfected. Then you need a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, which I have from Amazon. It was like £4 or £5 a bottle, 70% one. I have this bottle for, and it's 500 ml. I have this bottle for quite a few years. It's perfect if you put a little bit in a spray bottle and every now and then spray your makeup palettes to disinfect them, at least the powder products. And I also use it to disinfect containers, like when I repress, because I will take everything out and then we'll actually clean the container I want to reuse. So let's break this all up. And then I will put it in the container. Sorry, I'm not really an editing person, as most of you will know. It's just a hobby for me, YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber in that sense. Actually, you know what? Let me get a piece of paper. It will make it easier. Decided because the pen is so big, it will make it much, much easier to just put everything on a piece of paper. Oh yeah, and of course you need something to mix up your stuff, to mix it and also in later with the isopropyl alcohol. I have like these little wooden sticks. They're like, sometimes I reuse them. If they're really clean, I just clean them, disinfect them, put them back. But if they fray a little bit and get old, I just chuck them. There we go, all out. Have it on the paper here. Now the sun comes out. Sorry for the ever-changing light. That's when you film in natural daylight. So then the next one, this is the Kiko Milano one. That one really broke when it fell down. There we go. Empty. If a container or packaging is in really good condition, because this is really new, I actually used it twice and then it broke. I usually clean them out, disinfect them with isopropyl alcohol, and then keep them in case I need it for repressing products or other products later on, or if I have a product where maybe the container breaks and I just want to repress it into a new compact. So, and if I don't use them after a while, I usually check on my collection of containers, and every now and then I sort some out. Like for example, if I have one in a certain size and then I have a better one in the same size, I sort them out and then recycle them if you can recycle them. That's the big one. This was like huge. I mean, when I repressed that one, that was literally a highlighter. I think that must have been at least, I think this whole thing takes 11.5 gram. There must have been at least double the amount in the pan because it was huge and domed when I last time repressed it with all my... I had lots of little highlighter leftovers from highlighters, and some highlighters I didn't really like. I think when you check my old videos you probably will find it somewhere, and then I just repressed it all in here. But yeah, I think that's it. And this one I will not keep, I will chuck away. I think I've never had such a full cup. Maybe when I last time did that big highlighter repress. I hope I can stir it properly. I usually tend not to use too big cups when I do these repressing things, because I don't want to have too much product waste of product who then sticks inside the cup. But then make it a bit smaller to just have it easier to stir. Okay, camera stop. There we are. I literally just went like this, make it a bit smaller. Then we put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol in. You don't need too much. If you accidentally put too much in, it just needs a bit longer to dry at the end of the day. I had once that case where I used way too much, and then I literally could nearly pour the product into the pan. What you then have to do though is, because you can't really hard press it down, I would just maybe press it down the next day with a paper towel to get some bit stronger hold in the pan. Otherwise it will be, your product will get really fluffy, and if you want that, you will use it up really quickly, but it might not be helpful when it's a blush or something where you not necessarily want the biggest amount of product on your brushes. So yeah, and now I'm literally just stirring it. Okay, I stirred this one now a little bit. I think, yeah, this one actually I did use too much isopropyl alcohol. It's too creamy. It should be a bit more nuggety, like that it goes into little nuggets, but that's okay. We can work with that. We put that to the side and quickly clean out the pan. Okay, pan cleaned out. Just cleaned it out, soapy water, properly cleaned it, and then wiped it also with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. So there we go. Then we put our mixture in, which, yeah, it's a bit too much isopropyl alcohol. That's okay. It will just take a bit longer then to actually dry down, which is okay. We just have to wait a bit longer. Oopsie. A bit more in the middle. Then a bit more. Yeah, sorry, I'm not an editor, otherwise I probably would fast forward these bits myself, or just cut them out, I don't know. then on the other side, if you watch someone doing it live, you know at least how long it will take. Well, you might be quicker than me. I've repressed things a few times. I think it's a really good way of making your makeup last, or repurpose your makeup if you have things that might not completely match, like I did with my highlighters, and then it's just easier to have them in one big pan to use as a body highlighter instead of having teensy weensy highlighter pans you want to try to use up on your body, or try not to waste too much product. So I'm literally scraping everything out here I can, which is why I also like these wooden sticks. They're a bit more flexible, let's say, than something out of metal where you wouldn't maybe able to scrape everything out. Maybe I should get like one of these teensy weensy cooking silicone scrapers. Okay, that should be it. Oh, get off. Last big dollop. That's not bad. Scraped it out quite good. Then we flatten it. Oh, you see it's like a really jelly doughy consistency, which it shouldn't be. That just means too much isopropyl alcohol. So I won't be able to properly hard repress this. You know what, I might just let it sit here for a little bit and do the bronzer in the meantime until I press this one down. Yeah, we just let that sit a little bit and maybe some of the alcohol will already disappear. We have a new cup, of course, for the bronzer, and also a new clean stick to stir everything. Let me quickly do a tidy up. Okay, so now we tackle the bronzer. So again, we make it into little pieces. Then we use a piece of paper. I'll use the same piece of paper. I think there's some traces of the highlighter on there, but I don't mind that if any of that goes into the bronzer. There we go. Empty. I will clean that in a second. Then the bronzer goes into its little cup. And then let me clean the little pan. Okay, cleaned this one out. I will put it to the side. I thought I cleaned this first so I can make sure it's definitely really dry by the time I press the powder on it. Then a little bit of the alcohol into just a little bit. And then we stir. We don't want the same mistake like last time. A bit more. Yeah, that's actually quite a good consistency. If it's like this, like lumpy but sticky, that's a good sign. It looks so much darker when the bronzer is wet. By the way, it's actually not really a bronzer. It's called contouring powder, 7 grams from Claudia Schiffer. Anyone remember that collection a few years ago? It was via Art Deco. Art Deco, I think, is like a German brand. I think they're from Germany because I remember them from Germany. They're quite existing there for a long time. To be honest, their products actually, they're really good, and some of their stuff is quite expensive, and then some other stuff is a bit cheaper. Unfortunately, I haven't seen them really here in the UK in shops. You can order online, but yeah, I think I really need to get off ordering stuff online because except there's something I really want to try and it's a very generic product which I know I will like, and it's also not too expensive. Like when I order from Kiko Milano, for example, online, I don't mind ordering online, but if it's more high-end stuff, I prefer to definitely swatch it in a shop to make sure I like the product. But I'm actually super happy with that. Look at this. It's like a clay consistency, and this is what you want because then it actually, you can repress it quite well. By the way, not all products repress well, especially with certain eyeshadows, matte eyeshadows mostly. You have to be quite careful. This bronzer I hope will repress well. Bronzers I didn't repressed often yet, and usually I have quite shimmery bronzers. I think this is more like a matte one, so I'll have to see how that one represses. Some of them, they might crack when you repress them, and also once you repress the product, I would definitely recommend to start using it up soon, so you don't lose the product, because it does tamper with the product consistency, which means it will not be ideal anymore, and it might not last as long anymore as it would have used, or it would have lasted in its original state without you putting alcohol in it, because that alcohol can change the formula of certain products and then they're just not good anymore. But yeah, okay, got most of the stuff out. Let me try to get some more of the little bits here. No, come out. Okay, I'm actually quite happy with that. There we go. Happy with that. Let's push it down again. I'm trying to already spread it slightly, but not completely to the edge, because you want a bit of space that when you press it down, where the product can go. Okay. Now you need some paper towels. I will fold them already up into square so it can soak in. And then what you also can do is you can actually use something flat to push on top. Oh, do I have something flat actually? Not really. Not for this one. I only have round things, not really square. I'm gonna use this one. Let's have a look. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. Let's squeeze that a bit more into the corners. That's why you want to spread it a little bit evenly in the beginning. So when you then press the product down from the middle, it spreads a bit better. I just hope that this one doesn't crack too much when it dries. Ideally, I would have something square to press it with. I might just hand press here the corners now. Feels really like clay. Oh no! Look at that. Quick, get it out. Some of my paper towel landed in there. Oh gosh. There we go. Got it out. Let's fold it over. Just when it got too wet, I think it starts to just lose bits. Okay. Ugh. Okay, I can tell you already I'm not too happy with this repressing. That's just annoying. I think this is just too much of a clay consistency. It's interesting because I didn't expect that. Let me have a look. Okay, I will just leave it like this. I mean, this is super bumpy, as you can see. I'm not really proud of that, but you know what? At least it's not broken anymore, because in broken state I can't really use it anyway, because especially with bronzer you need to be careful, and I don't want to pick too much up on my brush. So I'm happy with it being repressed, and I think I just need to tackle this one soon in a project pan. But yeah, it looks good. Bumpy, but I'm okay with that. And I will just, I will leave it open now, and I will just let it dry for a few days, and then I will hopefully at the end I will put some more video insert in there. My gosh, this video is already way too long. I'm really sorry for that. But yeah, I will show you how it looks like. And now this one. There we go. This one is the highlighter. This one is way too soggy, but that's, this time everything goes wrong. Let's see if I actually even upload this video. But I should, maybe, to explain what happened to my stuff, because some of them you will remember from my project pan. Here you can see how it soaks through because of there's so much alcohol in there. So this one I can't really hard press yet. I will maybe tomorrow, maybe even tonight, I will have a look how much it dried by then, and then maybe press it down a little bit. I'm really glad actually this is like my body highlighter, so it doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm going with a massive kabuki brush. Again, it's a lot of product, which is why it will be slightly domed. Someone remember that massive dome from the other packaging? So, not properly pressed, more like dabbed to put it into shape into the pan. Only really, really lightly pressed. Okay, this one, I should probably really name this video like, what can go wrong when you repress products? How not to do it, because this is clearly how not to do it. Used way too much isopropyl alcohol, and the other one is just a lumpy bumpy one. Oh well. You know what? I don't mind it. It will be really interesting to see when it's dry. And I will also then swatch it, but look at this. But then again, I'll probably use it fairly quickly. So yeah, I say already, thank you so much for watching. I probably will do a little insert at the end. This is way too long. Watch it on 1.5, 1.75 speed. But thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! Okay, so here we are 2 days later. As thought, the bronzer actually cracked. Swatch is fine though, actually. Let me swatch it on the other side of the hand. There we go. I think I will pan this one soon. I still like it. It's quite a good bronzer. It's a bit light though, so I think it's better more for winter time. And this is the highlighter, which looks much better. And swatches amazingly. So yeah, I will use this one up in the next coming hot days, hopefully. Well, not using it up hopefully in the next few days, but I will use it again in the next few days. I love to use it on my legs. But that's it for me. Thank you. Bye.